It should be cured. Are we cured now? Give me a 5 by 5, 5 by 5, anything, something. Okay, so I have put a link out in the stream. I want to take a look at a couple of things, just a couple of things, not going to be long, but this is actually a very casual stream. You can come on if you like. If you don't come on, that's okay too. But you have the opportunity. I want to say hello to everybody in the stream already. We have Marcy T. And see, Marcy T says there, I have 5 by 5. So that's what I need, 5 by 5. Thank you, Marcy T. And Melinda Ann Burns is here. Hi, Melinda Ann Burns. Fancy Truth is here. I really appreciate it. So what I want to do is I kind of want to share some of these items I don't normally touch, but Marcy T, that is not possible. You are not. You are not. Okay. You couldn't possibly be. So I want to play this clip of, one of what I dare I call like a handler, or dare I say gatekeeper, high risen ability. And I think I'm going to talk a little bit on the left right kind of paradigm here, the rhetoric and the propaganda. So, we've talked about in the past about how Hollywood and these influencers are kind of sent out to, dare I say, for the lack of a better word, reclaim or reel people back in. Well, we have an example of that. It looks like Michael Eric Dyson. He's been used before to try to reel people back in, or what I think is happening is that I think a lot more people that happen to be black, I don't want to say they're waking up, but I think they're starting to point out some things that perhaps they should have been looking at a long time ago, but I don't know what's kind of put a fire underneath them. So they are speaking out about the types of people I think that are being tapped or chosen by the Democrats to, whether it be SCOTUS picks or just some of the biggest liberal influences happen to be married to somebody other than, a different background other than black. They're not necessarily married to somebody that's black, which that's not an issue for me. But for them, this is coming from a group of people, from a faction or an ilk of people that have told people for over a year, or for almost 3 or 4 years now, that generally that the white man is the biggest threat to the country, or to the dare I say, the democracy, or that kind of rhetoric. So it's just kind of nice to see some of that, some of the it's all falling apart. It's falling apart in a very public and a very social media kind of way. So if you're out there, if you have a look, you can see that I have placed a link out for you. And if you are interested in chiming in on any of these issues, this is not typically a subject that I deal with or that I devote a lot of time to, but I am pointing out hypocrisy, and I am pointing out that I think that the agenda is real. I don't think it's getting any less real, but I think people are starting to see some things that they haven't seen before. They're waking up to things. They've got enough people in their ear now to say, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't quite jive. So I think we might start with that one first. Hope you guys are doing well out there on your Thursday. I hope you are. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna get cranking up here with that particular clip, and this is I'm actually kind of shout out to this African Diaspora news channel. This was shared on his stream, because I'm not sure what particular Zoom call that Michael Eric Dyson was on, but and I tell you another one of the most visually distracting and irritating things is for the way they keep placing these. Not to say that people with any type of impairment, they don't need sign language, but it's just like all of this stuff is constantly going on. I think you know what I'm on about. Just a little, maybe just a little bit. Maybe you will buy the clothes in this. And then we have more smash and grabs. Um, this is the worst representation of anybody, whether you celebrate Black History Month or not. I don't, but this is definitely. I think things are out of hand here, and but they're kind of keeping the smash and grabs going, and I'm gonna share some of that. Freedom's March is here. How are you? How are you? Nice to see you, Freedom's March. And Sunfish for Fish and Melinda Ann Burns. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share that with you. Let's see. Let me give it a little context here. This is a little bit messy, but, I said, what the heck? What the heck? Let's see. What do we have here? Okay, so yeah. There's a hypothesis here that the Democrats sent Michael Eric Dyson to shame Blacks for defending, for not supporting the agenda. So let's rev up to this a little bit. Let's get a little bit of background around here. I'm going to share the screen with you, and then we'll go from there. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a channel that I check in with every now and then. I check in with the channel just to see what they're on about. And sometimes I find a gem or two. So let's go with it.
This man lost his mind. Let's roll that clip.
Oh,
let's see. Let's just back that up a little bit. I find his commentary, very supportive.
Out a shield, Michael Eric Dyson. Now, I want you to listen to this video. I mean, this man lost his mind. Let's roll that clip.
Oh, and I know some people got a problem with some of these women married to white men. Yeah, I'm going to go there this morning. Oh, my God. Well, look, I don't know their situation, but this is what I do know. A lot of them are dark-skinned Black women, and some Negroes got a problem seeing the beauty in dark-skinned Black women. Don't you be mad because a white boy came along and saw what you threw away. I ain't saying that's everybody. I ain't saying that's everything. I'm not saying it's universal. But before you rag on them, understand the story. Some of these darker skinned Black women don't get no love. Could be at a place like Harvard, Princeton, and Yale, and the brothers dating all white women. Now that's their choice if they want to do that, but look at the demonization of darkness. Look at the chocolate charm that's being overlooked. Look at it, and we got everything in the book: vanilla vitality, caramel cuteness, chocolate charm, mocha magic. We got it all, bruh. And yet we
So I'm pretty sure most of you have heard Jim Crow Joe. He's trying to do more symbolism.
Hang tight just a second there. So as you can see, I didn't mean to bump it back so far, but as you can see, this man is very much Michael Eric Dyson has a way with words. Let me put it out there like that. Okay. He'll word salad you, he'll word Juliana you, he'll sous chef your words, you name it. But he doesn't, I don't know whether he doesn't realize that he's contradicting himself and that he's contradicting his whole agenda. I don't know if he knows that or not. But, he comes out here with all these, romanticisms on the shades. And you see how steeped he is in just talking about, he's the one that's focusing on that. Why would you, if it's not a big deal, it sounds like you're the one that's making it a big deal, not the people that choose to date whoever they want, whoever they love. I mean, right? Isn't that kind of antithetical to their whole, love who you love? I mean, what does color have to do with it? If you really, but he's deep into it. He's getting deeper and deeper into it. So I won't talk anymore. I just had to stop because, he's using these terms, he's giving chocolate terms and, range of vanillas and this is what he does. He romanticizes and he poeticizes things, and it's just some people they jump right on it. But he's not fooling anyone. So we're gonna keep going. I apologize for the interruption there. Okay, let me get back to where I was. Do my best.
Women married to white men. Yeah, I'm gonna go there this morning. It's everything. I'm not saying it's universal, but before you rag on them, understand the story. Some of these darker skinned black cuteness, chocolate charm, mocha magic, we got it all, bruh. And yet we overlook that, right? Because we think that the white man's water is wetter. And skin and flesh is sweeter and sexier. So don't be mad at black women who refusing to be by themselves if they wanted to be a partner, accepted the love and devotion of a white man who saw their value beyond their skin in a way that certain black men could, or saw the beauty and value in their skin, not transcending their darkness, inhabiting it in delicious fashion. But that's another.
Now, when I heard this video and I'm looking at him, just it's bucking his eyes and all this.
So there's the foolery. I'm talking the foolery in his in his little, can I call it his little rant there? Because he's irritating people. He's not educating people, but he's been held up as, I don't know where he works anymore, but I think he's at one of these Ivy League, places, Ivy League towers or whatever that he works from. But these are the types of people that they send out. I think him, Michael Eric Dyson is right up there with Mark Lamont Hill. What dare can I say? A Cornel West. You don't have to look far. They're in the same vein. And so I just wanted to show that, like, this is the kind of crap that they're pumping out on during Black History Month. Meanwhile, you got smash and grabs happening in other places. I'm saying I just think that they need to come up with something else. Come up with something better. You got to come up with something that doesn't focus on color, because they're not reaching anybody with this. They're turning people off. If anybody, did anybody think, did that make you guys want to listen to what this guy has to say, or anybody speaking on behalf of, anybody speaking on speaking in the same vein that he is? It's not. Nobody wants to deal with these people, and it's embarrassing. It's foolish. It's foolish. It's embarrassing. And some people might say, you need to mind your own business. Let people love who they love. And I would agree 110%. And just keep all the flavors of chocolate out of it. Just leave that out of it. So Marcy T says, no, it made me not want to hear. So that's what I'm saying. Even it doesn't sound like a defense. It sounds disgusting to me. So I want to play one other thing. The way that this whole month is propped up, and the way that they're just kind of tearing it down and making a joke. It's just turning into a joke. It's like they've just turned it into a joke. It's not even, there's nothing educational about this. It's more like humiliation. So hang on just one second. I want to show you a smash and grab situation. And I don't know. I hope it's not that they're not trying to prove something with this material. It's pretty bad. Okay, so let's see if we can share this one. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Thank you so much for joining me. So the imagery that I had up earlier, that's about the best that I could do. This is the best I could do for the month at hand. So let's share this next one. Now, I don't know what city this is in, but I can tell, you could probably give some guesses and you might get close to it. But there is a link out there if you want to contribute or take away from the drama. we'll happily accept. So this is going to be very short, but this is bad representation, I say, all the way around for anybody involved. So here we are I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and give you the skinny on this one. Okay. So we're going to back up here. Looks like we're in I think this looks like T-Mobile. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I think it's T-Mobile. So let's blow it up. Let me know if you got the sound. Okay, so what I want you to see there, do you notice that is the iPhone 13 in the back of that display, on the back of the display wall? So there you go. You got your iPhone 13. Okay, so that's what's going on there. You got a smash and grab. I've talked about Prop 47 out of California, which, those, I would imagine that phone's probably more than $995. I don't know. I don't own an iPhone 13 or even a 12. I don't. So I don't know whether they've picked out the one that's got the lower price tag on it. But yeah, and I'm not sure if those phones are easy to swipe like that and to activate, or what is it, the unlocking capabilities. I'm not sure about that. So one more time on this one. So what a mess.
Track 2.
Okay, so that one didn't quite finish. So I guess the people are having to sit back and just watch.
They're track 2, dummies.
Okay, so I would assume that maybe that's somebody that works there that's saying, oh, look, this is a track. This phone is tracked. This device is tracked. You're not going to get far with this. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy being destructive in this case. But that's a smash and grab. I call it, if it's in California, I'd call it a smash and gav, because, the Prop 47, I think, as soon as, crooks will learn the law so that they can break it. I think that's the most evident thing. They'll learn something just so they can they'll learn something just for the sake of, using it for them. And that's, even politicians do that. So shout out to everybody in the stream. So I don't know what some of you say, like, oh, well, that's, not too long ago, people were saying, oh, that's reparations is what they're doing. They're tearing up they're grabbing, these expensive items, and they're, smashing and grabbing and doing all these things. But I'm not sure what the narrative is right now. But yeah, I mean, the iPhone 13, I think everybody's trying to get somebody to buy something right now. Whether you can afford it or not, I think we've had this conversation before where, people can be encouraged to go into debt, and then somebody will tell you that's a blessing, oh, you got a new car. Oh, you got a new house. Oh, that's a blessing. So the debt is actually a blessing. So have we been upside down for a long time? I think chances are we've been in a topsy-turvy or in an upside down world for a while. It's just that I think the volume of upside down or inversion is heavier right now. So when I say hello to Joseph Francis Burton, he says, nobody doing anything. That would not fly here. Right. It's just like, they're just kind of sitting back and like commenting on it. Like, look at that car go down the street, or, it's just those casual things. Probably no cops around, who knows, it's bizarre, right? And Marcy T says, read the money. It's a debt note. Marcy T, I tell you, you're priceless around here. Melinda Ann Burns says, this is so dumb. That is so dumb. If y'all are going to smash and grab, you should be in the meat department of the grocery store. Imagine that, you know? Oh, wow. But I'm just saying, this is not, I don't know. I would say with this being the second month in the year that we're just kind of set up. We're not exactly set up for success here, right? We're not set up for, you know, we're not set up to have a great year. You know, we're set up for destruction, and then some people are pawns of destruction. And, you know, when I hear people talk about, oh, well, I'm this and I got a third chakra and I was chosen. Well, chosen for what? What are you chosen for? Are you chosen to lead the world in destruction, or were you chosen to lead the world in you know, decadence or slow demise? Or what are you chosen for? You know, it's not bad to be chosen, but you know, you need to know what you're chosen for, right? I want to say 5 stars, 5 stars, and you're chosen. I don't know. You people out there, chime in, come on in. We're available. So yeah, so that was our that was a smash and grab, and yeah, I have no idea what Black History Month is. Where is it going to be next year? You know, where is it going to be a few years from now? You know, they just, I have no idea. I just think that they've just mockeried it all up. If it had, I think maybe it started out, it had potential, but it's just, everything is just down the tubes right now. And yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. So I kind of want to move on. Maybe to one other thing, and I'm gonna get you out of here. Because I know it is Thursday night, it does feel a little bit like Friday night, but maybe that's just me. But I do encourage you, if you're interested in picking up, the line, you know, I talked about in Quebec that they had a policy as to, you know, you had to be escorted around the Walmart or the big box stores, unless you're buying pharmacy items or food. But it looks like they're having to walk that back. So maybe the trucker convoys are getting some kind of attraction, and that there's, you know, we're all gonna hurt. Okay, so I just want to share this story with you really quickly, and I'm gonna get you out of here. Okay, so this one is actually out of Breitbart. This is a Quebec abandons policy of taxation on the unmocktailed. Now get that. You're going to be subject to taxation if you're unmocktailed. Okay, so that's pretty bad, right? Not what you had in mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm seeing a bit of talk about the weather out there. It's rainy where I am in my neck of the woods, but it's very up and down. It's very, very bipolar-ish, to say the least. So I'm going to get you the Breitbart excerpt, and then we're going to get out of here. Feel free if you're interested. The line is available if you'd like to speak up and speak out. All right, so the vax tax rollback. Here we go. All right, so here, according to this, the Quebec government has abandoned its proposed plan to implement a, quote, health contribution, end quote, tax on the unmocktailed residents as the government looks to relax the Wuhan CV restrictions this month. The government of the French-speaking Canadian province, led by Premier, is it Francois Legault, of the Conservative Coalition, Avenir Quebec, has dropped the proposal to tax residents not mocktailed against the CV after the measure was proposed last month. Okay, christened a, quote, health contribution, the government had initially proposed a, quote, significant tax of between 100 to 800 Canadian dollars. But according to a report from the Quebec newspaper La Presse, the measure has now been scrapped by the government. Quote, I understand this divides Quebecers, Legault said at a press conference on Tuesday afternoon, and added, quote, it's time to rebuild bridges. It's time to work together. Majority of Canadians want all pandemic restrictions ended. Now you're seeing that at Breitbart in London. You can see that there. Okay, opposition party leaders had criticized the announcement of the unmocktail tax, with the Quebec Liberal leader Dominique Anglade stating that, quote, Mr. Legault improvises constantly. He came up with this idea that was not only irresponsible, that was not thought through, and that didn't have any legal support to it. Conservative Party of Quebec, PCQ, leader Eric Duhem labeled the tax on the unmocktail a, quote, bluff, end quote, by Legault, saying, quote, I think the government is bluffing. I don't think there will be a mocktail tax in Quebec. I think this government is putting pressure that is obviously not working, but it is still in a mode of wanting revenge, end quote. Duhem has also previously called for Quebec to lift all of its Wuhan CV restrictions as soon as possible, a sentiment that is now expressed by a majority of the Quebecers, according to an Angus Reid report released this week. Quebec's scrapping of the mooted unmocktail tax comes as thousands of people joined the Truck Freedom Convoy in Canada's capital city of Ottawa over the weekend to protest the mocktail mandates and CV restrictions. So, see, this is where, people are, are you fearing the government at this point? So we're going to finish that one up here. Okay, so according to this, while the Freedom Convoy has seen widespread support from some and has raised nearly 10 million Canadian dollars on the fundraising platform GoFundMe, Canadian politicians have pushed back against the protesters. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau labeled the truckers and their allies a, quote, fringe minority, end quote, and blasted a select few, including a man carrying a Confederate flag and men carrying Nazi flags in an area away from where protesters were gathered. Why does this sound like their January 6th to me? There's some elements about this. It sounds like, they're gaslighting these people, trying to make it seem like, you've got a faction of BLM, perhaps, and a faction of Antifa in a situation like this. It's very similar to me. I'll keep going here. Quote, we won't give in to those who fly racist flags. We won't cave to those who engage in vandalism and or dishonor memory of our veterans, end quote, Trudeau said on Monday after allegedly fleeing his official residence in Ottawa and isolating after allegedly testing positive for the CV. Ontario Conservative Party Premier Doug Ford has also called on the protesters to leave Ottawa, saying the residents of the city should be allowed to get on with their normal lives. Quote, there's 1 million people that live in Ottawa, Ford said, and added, quote, I hear you. I hear the protesters. The province hears the protesters. The country hears the protesters. Now it's time to let the people of Ottawa get back to their lives. These businesses that have been closed for a while now, the restaurants want to reopen. Protesters remain in the heart of the capital as of Tuesday, and Ottawa Police Chief Peter Slowly has stated that, quote, all options are on the table, end quote, to end the protest, including enforcement. Okay, so you see, maybe the plot thickens there a little bit. We'll see. I guess we'll keep an eye on that particular story. All right. So I thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it on this Thursday. And we're going to make it a brief one. I know you got things to do. So we're going to do that. So we have Joseph Francis Burton coming in with Biden and then Trudeau back to back, have given two of the ugliest hate-filled political speeches I have ever heard. Marcy T says, what propaganda? Melinda Ann Burns says the truckers got it right. Do away with all mandates. Medical emergencies don't last for almost 3 years, but wars do. Right on, Melinda Ann Burns. That's exactly that's been something in the back of my mind. At what point does an emergency doesn't last? An emergency is not open-ended, right? Even emergencies have, timeline. Let's see. Melinda Ann Burns says the truckers got it right. Do away with the mandates. Let's see. I'm sorry about that. Two Hats says begging for crumbs. Looks that way to me. Marcy T says he is hidden from Biden now. So yeah, but I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And I appreciate it. right, guys, I'm back, and I want to thank you guys so much again for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And thank you again. I just want to say hello to everybody in the stream on our final round here of hellos, and then we'll be out. All right, we'll go from the top. Freedom's March was here. Marcy T's here. Thank you, Marcy T, for all that you support the channel. Fancy Truth's here. Thank you for coming in. Came in early with a howdy all and blessings. Thank you. Melinda Ann Burns. Risen Ability was here. Hope you're doing well out there, Risen Ability. Thank you so much for coming in. Let's see. Sunfish for Fish. Thank you so much for coming in. And Freedom's March. Nice to see you. Congratulations. And Melinda Ann Burns, it's nice to see you as well. Thank you so much for coming in. Two Hats, thank you for coming in. Freedom's March says, thanks for the info. Yeah, well, I do what I can. It's bizarro land out here. What can I say? Pretty bizarre. But I'm trying to lighten things up a little bit and just try to hear from you guys a little bit more, and just kind of make these streams a little bit more casual. And of course, you can come in we'll do things that are in relation to this cycle of news that we're covering, and then sometimes not. Sometimes we'll have a cycle list. You can pick whatever you want out of the hat. If you can, and then, maybe I'll ask you if you can reference the source for us. That would help. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we'll see what happens the rest of the weekend. And you guys take care and stay warm for those of you that are in the deep freeze of the country, or if you are in the Midwest or the deep freeze. Dare I say, let those faucets drip. That's probably not accurate. That's probably not accurate. That's not the right technique there. But do what you have to do and stay warm out there. Okay, let's see what else. Marcy T. She says they corrupted everything. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you. I'll see you around.